Hello, and welcome back to the Inktober Color Challenge. I've taken on this internet holiday as my theme for the month of October 2025, and each day I am choosing a different color story inspiration prompt. And I've got them all planned out. You can download the calendar, and then however you choose to interpret that, you can, grab some crayons and do some coloring. I am using the QuiltInk website as my platform for Inktober. And so every day I am exploring what colors come to mind with that design prompt. So let's have fun with Christmas colors today. And since we are in our second week of Inktober, I decided to choose a different pattern. So from the patterns collection, I've been using favorite stars that you see here in the middle, and it is pinned to the top of the pattern page. But I've done 7 designs in a row with favorite stars, and I'm just feeling a little stale. So let's go to Fast Track. I'm typing that in the search bar, and my Fast Track Modern Sampler pattern comes up. And let's color that one. So I'm going to create a new mockup. And I actually played with this a couple months ago. So here you can see some traditional red and green with yellow accents. But let's start fresh. So we can do that by clearing all colors. And I went to the unmerge. For some reason, the show outline was not selected. So make sure you have that there. And okay, so you can just click and drag since I can't show all of the pattern in one view. And you can increase the size over here on the right. Okay, so let's choose a palette, and I'm going to try this Artisan Cotton by Wyndham Fabrics. And again, we're using, the prompt is traditional Christmas. So to me, that's red and green. And let's alternate. So let's see, I have a crimson, brown, pumpkin umber, this red orange or strawberry coral, where, we've got a few shades here. The computer isn't always the most accurate, but I'm going to choose that red orange, and I'm going to color in, whoops, I didn't want to do that one. I want to do every other star here as red, and then I'm going to do 2 different color schemes for the flying geese blocks and also for the zigzags. So I've done red, and then I want to choose a Christmas green. So this one looks kind of like that pine green shade that works well with that bold red for Christmas. And you can decide which shades of red and green say Christmas to you. Okay, I've got all the main elements of my design. Everything else is background and sashing. didn't mean to click that. And so I think I want to use a light background. So let's see, I've got a white aqua, I've got a bright white there. I've also got this light mint color. I'm thinking of like a snowy background. So I went ahead and used that aqua shade. It's almost a light gray the way it's coming through on my computer. But I'm just going to do all the background of these long spaces in my sampler design. And my mouse is really sticky on this pattern for some reason. It's not like if I don't have it positioned exactly in the center of the space, it won't change the color of it, which is kind of annoying, but we make do. And of course, there's lots of little shapes here, pieces of these stretched blocks. These are all part of my Little Bit Different collection. We will leave the sashing as a bright white, which doesn't change on the computer screen. And then I'm going to do, let's see, we can have a nice cheery Yule tide yellow copper for that outer border. And there, that four-corner arrow button fits it to the screen. And so there is one interpretation of a traditional Christmas coloring scheme. My other thought for this design, that yellow border isn't my favorite, but if I come back and if I do two sides in red and two sides in green, that's kind of a fun mix for that border treatment. So tried to keep the background a little bit lighter and softer there, kind of that the blanket of snow outside the window on Christmas when you're surrounded by the red and green. So that is my interpretation of a traditional Christmas with red and green colors for today. And I'm excited to see what you design for Inktober. I actually made this Christmas version of the Fast Track sampler. You can see the blocks here, and I'll give you another look at it. I've enjoyed working with these holiday fabrics for this quilt, and you can see that zigzag block right at the bottom there. You can register for an on-demand online class that will teach you how to make half rectangle triangles and the Fast Track sampler. Find all the details at truebluequilts.com, and I'll see you tomorrow with more of Inktober.